Well, Dave, we've obviously been seeing just, I think, a lot of really positive things so far this spring. Is there anything or anyone that has really stood out to you this year?
I think there has been a lot of positives. There's a lot of good energy, a lot of good conversations, coaches, players within players. I just like the focus, the energy from the new guys, the guys that have been here. As far as standouts, man, it's a long list. I think, Yoshinobu is really coming really good. I think that Tanner Scott, just kind of seeing him, I think Bobby is really on his way back to reestablishing himself. There's just a lot of good things going on, and really Teo looks fantastic. So I just feel that we're all in a good spot.
Yesterday we saw Dustin May taking part in his live BP, and he's been very honest and raw just about everything that happened with the esophagus tear and how he's been feeling. Really, this just this series of unfortunate events he's had to deal with the last few years. When you see the work that he's put in, kind of where is he heading into this year, and what have you just seen from him?
Well, with Dustin, it's been 5 years of major league service, essentially, that he's spent a lot of time not participating, and that's been a frustrating road. But he is 100% healthy right now. Yesterday, he threw the ball extremely well, and he's had success at the big league level. I do feel that this year is going to be his best year, and I think there's a lot of excitement to be a full participant.
How do you keep Dustin May healthy?
That's a fair question. He looks really good physically. I think that we've tried to manage him as best we can. Certainly hasn't worked out, but I think right now where he's at, he's a competitor. He wants to be out there, and so just to continue to just be mindful that he's just come off surgery, but this guy has waited a long time to pitch in a big league game, and so you got to let him go out there and do it as well.
With Bobby, what does he have to show you to kind of show that he's hit the reset button?
Well, I think I want to see controlling of emotions. I want to see better execution of pitches. I want to see better sequencing and using his pitch mix the right way, which I think all those things weren't in sync last year. I do believe he's healthy with a lot of work on his part. And so I think if that's the case, good things are going to happen.
Dave, with Roki, you kind of touched on him and getting comfortable out here. What are the biggest questions he's been asking you personally?
So he's not there yet as far as asking questions. He's still at the stage of just observing, which he's doing a very good job at that, getting comfortable. But I do believe that once he starts to ask questions to his teammates, his coaches, myself, there's another level of, there will be another level of performance. But I think right now, he just wants to kind of get his feet under him and then get into some games, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
And David, Chris Taylor, he's been such a big piece for you guys for almost 10 years now. What role do you envision him for this team?
I don't know right now. I've always said that one of Chris's superpowers, and he's won a lot of big games for the Dodgers in the biggest of moments, is his mindset, his mentality to be ready for whatever we ask of him. I still believe that's a superpower, and his ability to play all over the diamond. So he's got various gloves. He's healthy. He's moving really well. So it could be from third base to left field to center field. And I think after that, there's a second base in there. But I think CT just knows how to prepare himself.
As far as kind of what you're looking at kind of this spring, when we see what he looks like when he's an all-star, when the swing is right, what are you kind of looking for from a performance standpoint, just kind of in the swing?
From the swing, I think, it's hard to get locked in when you're not playing every day. Hitting is hard. I think for me is just some more consistent at bats as far as quality of at bat, moving the ball forward. I think CT, and he'll admit it, is he's very mechanically driven. But I also think that it's about performance, and it's not always mechanical. But he feels he's in a great spot mechanically this year, which is fantastic, and he's healthy. So I would expect, better quality of at bat.
Chris has talked about, not only making some mechanical tweaks, but also kind of adjusting his mindset so that he's not like looking for different things every time he comes up to the plate. Is that something that you've talked about him with, or have been seeing the results of this?
That's kind of what I'm touching on. When you're in there every day, you can kind of tinker a little bit more because the rhythm and the speed of the game, you're kind of calibrated. But when you play 2 times a week, 3 times a week, it's hard to be a tinker because you never have something that sticks. And so that's something that I think is a struggle with him all the time, where, I understand how difficult that role is, but I just want to see competitive at bats, when he gets run out there.
Is Freddie any closer to running?
I would say yes, but I don't know when that's going to happen. He's still. We'll see about this Cactus League opener, but I don't see that happening, and so I just don't know when he's going to be running and when he's going to be a full participant. I'm not sure yet, but I'm not worried about it.
What about Will Smith?
Will is moving better than Freddie. I would say Will be in a game next week. So we start, I think, on Thursday. So next week, I would assume will be in the lineup at some point.
You mentioned an opener that you planning to do Yoshinobu or in Shohei
What's that?
for the opener game.
Oh, it's not Shohei. Shohei's going to be later in the month for sure, and we'll see about Yoshinobu.
With Tyler, I know he said he's been healthy since pretty early in the offseason, but just watching him today, is there anything you're going to be looking for with him coming off the elbow injury?
I think right now he is healthy. I think right now we're looking for command. I think that now he's going to be able to see some hitters and see how hitters respond to his stuff. And so the commanding of the fastball, the breaking ball, and seeing how hitters react to it. Both breaking balls, actually. Excuse me, there's a 2-seamer and a 4-seamer in there. So that's about it.
He's talked about trying to work on stay healthier, some of the extension stuff in this row. Just watching him, have you noticed anything different about his mechanics or how he's letting the ball go, or has that all been more subtle stuff?
It's been subtle, excuse me. Tyler, it's been subtle. I think a lot of it was driven on he just wasn't healthy. He really wasn't. And so I think right now, if you watch him today and watch him in his pens, he's a lot more athletic. And I think for me, as a big-bodied guy, if we can just get him to continue to be athletic, and he's a little bit like Chris in the sense of he's very mechanically driven, but I think if we can sort of move the pendulum a little bit to the athleticism, compete side of things, you're going to see a much more consistent Tyler Glasnow.
Last one, guys.
Given that you plan to pitch Sasaki and Yamamoto in Tokyo, how soon do they need to get in these Cactus League games?
Soon. Soon. So soon. They'll be in soon, yeah.